Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. So today I'm really excited to be finally busting open after so long. I bought this, I think, a year ago last summer. This is the number 75308, R2-D2. This set includes 2,314 pieces, retailing for $199.99 before a $40 price increase. I bought it before the price increase though, and it released on May 1st of 2021. I'm pretty sure as of the time of me recording this that this set is still on shelves. But anyways, as a kid, I always wanted the original R2-D2 UCS set, and I never got it. I missed out on it. It retired before I was able to actually buy it. I asked the store if they had any, but it was already retired at that point. But today I have the new version, which may actually be a lot better because they use a lot more modern techniques in order to get a lot of those curves that you see, especially for the head, which is a lot less studded. Looking at the box art design, you get your specialized R2-D2 logo from the very top alongside a little R2 and C-3PO. I do really like that little art. You get a blue light faint in the background of this black box art. Being an 18+ set, you get that greebling from the bottom with your logos. I also want to highlight the side box art. You get that really beautiful close-up of R2-D2 and your 50 years of Lucasfilm logo. This set is indeed celebrating that. You get a specialized print. Spinning to the back of the box, you get some of the different features that you can activate on this R2-D2 and some real-life stills, not only from the original trilogy, but from the prequels and the sequels, which is really great to see that they're advertising all of Star Wars that R2 appears in. I do appreciate that. So yeah, that's all for the box art. It's time to open this up and see what's inside. When opening up the box, you get a few of your numbered bags and a white box which will feature everything else. Within our box, we get a total of 13 numbered bags, bag numbers 4, 6, and 11, each featuring 2. You also get 2 loose Technic pieces and your instructions and sticker sheet, which are bundled in a plastic bag. Our one and only sticker within this set is for the display plaque for R2-D2 with all the little information bits on that. Instructions mimicking the style of the box with that black background. For future 18+ LEGO Star Wars sets, you'll get a white background. I definitely prefer the black for this, considering the white that we see on R2-D2. QR code and logos from the top. From the back, you get your Star Wars logo and your win information, piece count for a few pages there. From the very front, we get some words from our designer of this set, which is really nice to see. And you get this in a few different languages. Some information about R2-D2 in general. You can pause this if you want to take a look. I really love when LEGO includes this information. It's really fun. And that should be the last of it, talking about just how they made it for the actual film, which is really cool that they were able to include this kind of information, and even having the actor who was inside R2. Looking at the one and only minifigure included in this set, we get R2-D2, which is brand new as of the year prior, 2020, of this set's release, included in around 5 other sets in addition to this one. Now, the one thing that I think would have made this figure even better, which is something that they just recently introduced as of 2022, is back printing, which is just crazy that we gotten to the point that LEGO has started introducing that on these astromech droids, or more so just on R2-D2. Any of the other ones seem to lack it, which is a little disappointing. Same connection for those legs for that movement. No third leg, which would have been really interesting to see them introduce on this character. Again, just if they brought us that back printing on this figure, I think this would have been a really great addition to this set. This would have been the perfect place for them to introduce a new minifigure of R2-D2. I don't know why they didn't do it. Also have to talk about the printing on the dome, how it is off-centered a little bit, more so on the front of the dome there. You can see that it dips up and dips down. It's just annoying that they aren't able to fix this. They're all sort of different in one way or another. Alongside your giant build of the character, you also happen to get a little display plaque in which you can place your minifigure. Bringing it up close and personal, you get those jumper plates in order to place your minifigure right there on the display. Works like a charm. Really, the standout piece here is going to be that 1x4x3 brick with that exclusive 50 years of Lucasfilm print. This is the only set that LEGO released to celebrate 50 years of Lucasfilm, unlike Hasbro, which released just a dozen action figures, which were really cool. It's a little disappointing, but I don't think there would have been anything better to come out of 50 years of Lucasfilm from LEGO. Maybe if they made like an Indiana Jones set back then, that would have been really cool. Of course, we saw how that turned out as of this year, 2023. There's a look at the back there, and also just showing off the display plaque, which is stickered. As of 2023, these will all start to be printed. It's a little unfortunate that it didn't start here, but what can you do? Would have been really nice if they could update older sets with prints, but that would cost them a little bit too much money. You can pause and read any of this if you wanna. Really cool that they include this information. Just again, I would have liked to have seen it printed like you're going to be seeing it on hopefully all future sets. Bringing our buddy into the screen, here is R2-D2 in all of his glory. Now, we have actually seen an R2-D2 in this scale once before, and that was all the way back, I believe, in like 2010, 2011. We saw a direct consumer of R2-D2, missed out on it just because it was expensive, around the same price in that $200 range, or maybe a few dollars cheaper than that, this one being $240 after that price increase as of August 2022. But anyways, I think LEGO did a wonderful job bringing this character back to life, and just a lot of the building techniques in which they were able to use on this are a lot more advanced than what they would have used back in 2010. Starting off from the very top, we have these two parts in which you can easily open up. This first one being the computer interface arm compartment. The one underneath, which looks exactly the same, is going to be another one of those computer interface arm compartments, just so then you can do it from whichever side you want, I guess, when you're trying to open up the doors. Underneath that, you can see the power recharge coupler. Spinning to the back side real quickly, a function that works in par with the two side hatches here. We have these Technic axles, which feature these cone pieces on the end. You can push those in order to open up these doors and launch out those accessories. Moving back to the front side, and again just using those Technic functions inside to open up these doors. This first one over here is the manipulator arm compartment. In order to store it away, you can just push it right back and close up the door using that Technic function there. And then the one from this other side is the oil slick arm compartment. One other thing that I've noticed when it came to the front design is the fact that it isn't entirely accurate. There's really only so much LEGO can do at this price point in order to make it as accurate as possible. I do really like that they were able to include these little lines off here, though there is supposed to be another thing over to the side here. Unfortunately, it seems LEGO had to remove that. Down below we have a few more smaller details. I'm not really going to name these, but you can just take a closer look at that. It's really cool to see the attention to detail and what LEGO was able to include as far as the details on the body. Unfortunately, from the back side we don't get as much. There's really just a plain old studded area and lots and lots of tile pieces to round out the backside, and again just these parts that you can push in order to open up those front compartments there. While we're on the side of the build, we might as well take a look at the legs, which I think LEGO did a wonderful job recreating. These, you may notice, we have this loose Technic connection down here, just so then you do get a little bit of a range of motion when it comes to moving these, as far as when you include that third leg in the ensemble. You get lots and lots of slope pieces in order to round it out, and lots of small little itty bitty details like getting these hose pipe pieces, which I believe only come in one other set at the moment. It's really cool to get those. From the opposite side we have this same build-up. And I did also want to point out these pieces here, which I believe were introduced in the LEGO Minions theme the same year. Interesting to see that included from the very side, and works very well just to create that rounded shape there in that spot. Now, in order to drop the third leg, you're going to have to move the body forward a little bit. And there you go, nice big clunky sound there in order to drop the third leg. You gotta be very careful when placing him on his third leg just because it feels very, very delicate to me. Though as far as how everything is connected, technique-wise, it should be all okay. It just feels a little janky because it's very wiggly. Bringing us underneath the build real quickly, you can take a look at all the colors inside the body in order to create the technique connections and just see how this leg is placed inside the body. Now also, when you have the legs slanted in a certain way, you will not be able to push this back into the body. Only once you have the legs straight on again will you be able to push it right back into place. And I'll show you yet again how that fits in underneath. But again, once you bring those legs back, it's going to start lowering that third leg, which I really love how they were able to create that feature. Reaching the very end, we're up to the head, which can turn in a 360 direction with a spinny plate inside. Really like how you can do that. Also want to talk about the slanting for the very front of the eye there. I think that turned out really nice, and using the shield piece there for that black eye right there in the center. I would have liked to have seen some type of printing in there, though I guess a lot of the other droid builds that they've done in the past do not include that kind of printing, so I guess it's fine. As far as the placement of buttons go and such, I think LEGO did a nice job. I can't really say for sure if it's entirely accurate. I mean, especially back here, you get a lot more of those buttons, but it looks alright to me. Color scheme wise, it's also really nice, though we also do happen to use gray instead of the silver that you see for the minifigure. Would have been nice to see silver there, but there's really only so much LEGO can do as far as recoloring all of these pieces in that color. I think it's fine with the light gray, same color that they used on the last model. One thing that you may notice is different compared to the last one also is the fact that we're using a lot more of these slope pieces. We don't have as many studs showing, more so from the top. But one more thing in which you can actually do with the head is from the very top we happen to get some small features. One of which being right here, which we can remove this section to launch out Luke Skywalker's lightsaber like you see in Return of the Jedi, and I think it's really cute that they include that. Lightsaber, of course, not exactly being to scale with like anything. I mean, who's gonna hold on to this, the buildable figure? I think the build up for this turned out really nice, but again, it's just like, why? Also just show you the hole in which that's placed in. Just place it in like such. And then you can easily just cover it up. Like you see there, you want to make sure that the stud on the very end of the lightsaber is in the middle in order to actually make sure that this sticks in place nicely. Now from the back side we have one more thing. Having this turn in a 360 direction makes this so much easier, but anyways, this is probably the part that I was kind of excited to see, but also it's very disappointing. We have the raising periscope, which doesn't raise as high as I might have liked it to. R2 uses this in Dagobah in Empire Strikes Back. It's a nice inclusion, but still, it's just, I wish it could have gone up a little bit higher. I guess one bonus is the fact that it can actually go in a 360 direction, but still at the same time, it's just a little disappointing. Not as great as it probably could have been. Before I end off this video, I did want to show R2 right next to BB-8, and I think they look adorable next to each other, both of which featuring some really cool functions in order to move around their heads, and even just some inner workings inside their body, which is really cool. And also, I just feel like they're in perfect scale to one another. I think the designers thought, hey, we know that we released this set in the past, and we've also released a few other buildable characters. This would work perfectly in this lineup. Now, if only they could make a C-3PO in this scale and not a $200 Chewbacca, I think we'd be kind of golden as far as these buildable characters go. So overall, for $200, I think this is a great deal. For $240, you should definitely wait on a price drop. I know that a lot of places have actually already started selling this set a cheaper price than $240. Those price increases are really pesky. I'm really happy I was able to get this at $200 before it went up 40 more. But talking about the build here, I think it's amazing. I'm really happy to have it in my collection. Works amazing with that BB-8. I'm really excited to display both of those together for a long time. Minifigure could have been much better considering what we're getting for R2 these days with the back printing. Great to get that exclusive 50 years of Lucasfilm print. Wish the plaque was printed, but there's nothing you can do about it. Now, 2023 moving forward, they should all be printed. And one other thing that I did want to talk about, just because it was on my mind as far as one thing that I would have really liked to have seen in this R2 to make it a little bit better, would have been those jet boosters, which we saw used mostly within the Clone Wars TV show. I remember seeing that all the time, and just one of those features that I would have really liked to have seen included on this R2-D2 would have made it so much better. Body isn't as accurate as you see in the real model, but there's only so much LEGO can do at this $200, $240 price point, and I think they did a wonderful job just capturing the essence of this character. It looks really amazing, and even better than the one that we got back in, say, 2010. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!